Hey there folks, welcome back to the Chicken Ranch. About to go do some work on the coop today. So I made the mistake of ordering this piece of garbage on Amazon. It's supposed to be an automatic coop door. Hey lady. It worked for about 3 days, and then since then I've had to come out here every morning and evening to manually open and close it. So this is getting sent back. Got this in the mail today. This is what we found to replace it, and as you can see, it looks like the exact same thing, and that is because the cheapo that broke on us, I think, is a total ripoff of this one. I think this is the OG. Hopefully it works a lot better. All right, let's get this thing opened up. So this is the Run Chicken Model T50. It had about 1,500 reviews when I ordered this on Amazon, and it had about a 4.5 star rating. So people seem to like it. And yeah, looking at it even closer, it looks like a complete knockoff of the other one. So I'm hoping that I don't have to do anything with the hole that I drilled in the chicken coop. And I'm hoping that these screw holes line up perfectly with the ones that I already have in there. That would make my life so much easier. Okay, let's see what comes with this. The door itself, and this instruction manual. So it looks like this part here is where the batteries go, right in here, and it looks like to access the batteries you actually have to unscrew the screws there and pop this whole piece off, which sort of seems like a lot of work, but I'm guessing that that is what makes the thing waterproof. So let's pop this thing off and see what that looks like. And now I read this, it recommends to use a hand tool instead of the power tool, but I don't think I broke anything. And that's where they have the screws, on the back of that. So pop that off. Oh, look at that. It comes with batteries already. And then this little thing that you pull out, because that's blocking the circuit there. Cool. Yeah. And it makes some funny noises and spins the motor around. Look, that's all the motor is right in there. Super small, super simple. All right. Put the screws back in. This time we'll follow the instructions and use a hand tool. Not sure why it's just opening and closing. Could have something with to do with, I think that is a light sensor. Could have something to do with me covering it and moving my hand away from it. It appears that that's the case. So it's obviously in that mode, but I know that there are other modes. I think you're able to set a timer so it opens and closes at certain times of the day. And then there's also a manual mode. Default mode must be the light sensor mode. So let's figure out how to switch it to the other modes. So according to the instructions here, the door is controlled by this button here, right below where it says T50. Hit that button once. The indicator light turns green, starts going up. Push it again and the door will stop. And push it again, the indicator light turns red and it goes down. So if you just push it once and let it go, the door will go all the way up. And you push it again, and it'll close. So that's how it works in manual mode, but the reason I got this, and the reason why anybody would buy this, I assume, is that they did not have to open and close it manually every day. So if you want to set this to open and close at a certain time, apparently what you need to do is, say if you want it to open at 7 a.m., you would have to go out there at 7 a.m., and hold this button in for a few seconds until that light turns green. As soon as it turns green, immediately release and then press it again to confirm that time. And it'll open up for you, and then it will remember every morning at 7 a.m. it'll automatically open for you. And to set the close time, you do exactly the opposite. Hold this button in till the light turns red. Once it turns red, immediately release and then press it again. And that confirms the time that it'll close. Okay, so according to the manual, if you hold this button in for 15 to 20 seconds, it'll revert back to the factory default settings, which means the door will automatically work according to daylight and nightfall with the light sensor. So I think that that's what I want for now. So that's what I'm gonna do. So it should be back to factory settings. So I'm gonna go get this mounted, and hopefully all the screw holes are lined up with my existing ones out there. Okay, so back out here. And yeah, it's looking like the holes won't. Actually, these two holes will line up perfectly, but for some reason, this third hole doesn't line up, but that's okay. Just have to drill a new hole in there, and it looks like the sizing is perfect. So that's good news. For the purposes of this video, I sort of wish that I was doing this part just to show how that's done, but it's actually really easy if you have the right tools for it. Like I said before, all you would do is put this on here, take a marker, trace around here, or wherever you want the door to be mounted, and then you would drill a hole in one of those corners, big enough to fit your jigsaw blade in there, and then just cut your hole around like that, and it's as easy as that. And then you just mount it on here, and then drill your screws into these holes. For the purposes of my coop, with these vertical slats that I have in here, I chose to reinforce it with just a couple pieces of scrap wood to hold everything together. Seems to be working just fine. So for these existing holes that already line up, I'm just gonna go ahead and pop these in. So for the top two holes, I'm gonna drill a little pilot hole in there so I don't split this wood. Not sure exactly what size the drill bit is I'm using. It's just the smallest one I have. Should work. I suppose I should just give it a little test to make sure the door is not hindered by anything sticking out. Just make sure it freely closes and opens. It's pretty smooth. Make sure it runs just as smoothly on the way up. looks pretty good. So yeah, like I said, I put it back on factory default settings, so it should close tonight after the sun goes down and open back up in the morning as soon as it detects light. I'm sure for the first few nights I'll have to make sure that the chickens make it inside before the door closes, but I'm sure that they'll get used to it and go in before it closes on their own. All right, that's gonna do it for my install video of the Run Chicken Model T50 Coop door. I'm gonna try to do a review in a few months after I've actually used it for a while. Make sure it's still working, and I'll let you know how well it's working, how much the ladies like it. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I will put a link in the description below if anybody wants to check out the specs on Amazon. Thank you.